There is a threat to our freedom that is not often talked about enough. And it is the greatest near and long-term threat to both our freedom and our security, and that is the threat of Islamist ideology.
Now, she's going to explain to you why Islamist ideology is a threat to Western society. I have to make these pauses again for fair use acknowledgement so that we don't get a copyright strike or get this video taken down. So I apologize for the interruptions. If you want to watch this video in its entirety, the link will be in the description after the broadcast.
It is propagated by people who not only do not believe in freedom, their fundamental ideology is antithetical to the foundation that we find in our Constitution and Bill of Rights, which is that our Creator endowed upon us inalienable rights, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, Charlie focused on this quite a bit. He talked about it in ways that very few others did because he understood this direct threat to freedom. When we look back to the attack on 9/11 that happened 24 years ago now, it changed so many of our lives, where thousands of Americans were killed by Islamist jihadis who attacked us on that day. And we were confronted with the reality of the lengths that they will go to try to attack the foundations of who we are as a country. It was a day that changed my life, probably like some of you in the room. It's what motivated me to enlist in the Army, to go out and to fight and to defend and to defend our freedom and defeat those who are attacking us.
Thank you, Tulsi, for placing your life on the line and for defending true American values.
But when we talk about this Islamist ideology, yes, it is the ideology that fuels terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS and Al-Shabaab and Hamas and Boko Haram and others. And they must be defeated militarily. As they continue to actively plot and try to attack us. They are a threat to our security and our safety. But this Islamist ideology is a direct threat to our freedom because at its core, it is a political ideology that seeks to create a global caliphate that governs us here in America, threatening Western civilization, governance by Sharia law.
Sharia law. That's what they're trying to impose worldwide. If you're not familiar with Sharia law, go and watch one of the videos that we did that was discussing Sharia law.
Governance by what they are calling their Islamic principles. And if you fail to comply, if you fail to adhere to this ideology, if you dare to exercise your God-given right to free speech, censorship is not what we face. They will use violence or any means they deem as necessary to silence us. If we don't take action to identify this threat, to define it, to call it out for what it is, and take action to defeat it, then we will find ourselves in a place where many European countries and countries like Australia have found themselves.
And all you have to do is just look at any news, left or right, it doesn't matter, and you see just how much those lands have changed. They're completely, fundamentally changed from what you know them throughout history. You look at them, their lands have changed, and now you're seeing a lot of pushback from the natives of that land. And I'm talking about Germany, I'm talking about France, and I'm talking about the UK. It's overran. And they're pushing back like, hey, we want our history back. But this is what happens when you have open borders and when you have an ideology that goes against all of your values. When I say all of your values, I'm talking about all of your values. And I'm talking about Western values.
Countries where you can get arrested for praying silently on the street corner, as has happened in the UK. Countries where you can be arrested for putting up a social media post that someone finds offensive somewhere. The threats from this Islamist ideology come in many forms. As we approach Christmas right now in Germany, they are canceling Christmas markets because of this threat. In places like Dearborn, Michigan, and Minneapolis, Minnesota, Islamist clerics are openly pushing this Islamist ideology, trying to recruit and radicalize young people. Earlier this year, there was a conference that was held representing organizations like the Council on American Islamic Relations, also known as CARE, which issued a call to action to use American legal and political systems to implement Sharia law.
They're using our own legal system and laws against us to implement their laws. If you go up there to Michigan, I can't think of it, begins Hanarak or whatever. I can never say that name correctly. Do you know they have a mayor up there? And do you know that up there in that area, Hamarak, however it's called, and up in Dearborn, they actually have Sharia law enacted? No, they don't. Yes, they do. Why do I know this? Because a few years back, 2 or 3 years ago, Sharia law allows for mercy unalivings, you know, K-I-L-I-N-G. This father killed his daughter because she was dating outside of the Islamic faith. She was a Muslim, and the father killed the daughter because she was dating a black man. Was it racial? No, it was because she was dating outside of the Muslim faith. And no charges were brought against him because a foolish leftist judge over there, up there in Dearborn or Hamarak, however you say the name, said he was operating under his law known as Sharia law. You think I'm lying? Look it up. I am not making this up. We did a broadcast on this a couple of years ago, and he was not charged with unaliving her. Beautiful young 19-year-old lady. Continue, Tulsi.
This is already underway in places. This is already underway in places like Houston. This is not something that
Hamtramck. Thank you, Brother Allen. I knew you would have it for me. Islam cannot coexist with God-given America. Come on, Brother Allen. Come on. Join us over there in the chat. I keep telling you there's good stuff going on.
It may possibly happen. It is already happening here within our borders. Paterson, New Jersey is proud to call themselves the first Muslim city. They are working to implement in their own governments these Islamic principles that are forced on people through the use of laws or violence. The bottom line is this: when we talk about the threat of Islamism, this political ideology, there is no such thing as individual freedom or liberty.
No such thing as individual freedom or liberty within their ideology. But listen to this poignant part that she's about to state. We're getting to the meat of what we're talking about tonight.
As Charlie said over and over again, it is fundamentally incompatible with our nation's foundation of freedom.
Their ideology is fundamentally incompatible with our nation's freedom. That's the bottom line. All of their principle goes against all of traditional Western principles. And what makes it even so much more insane is all of these people are buying right in, and they do not know what it is that's coming upon them. But that's what the end times tells us was going to happen anyway.